Damn, Angel. Damn. Jag the game at the free throw line, man. It's a lot of controversy going on in Chicago. The Sky fans are blaming Tyler Marsh for Angel Reese losing the game at the free throw line and ruining the Chicago Sky's chances of really cutting the lead down to 1 and giving themselves a chance to keep playing and try to get an upset in Phoenix. Angel played a hell of a game, 15 points, 20 rebounds. We cannot poo-poo.
A basketball game was recently transformed into a blooper reel by Angel Reese. And now, more quickly than kids with cookie crumbs on their faces, Sky fans are pointing fingers. They're roasting the coach. The list of justifications keeps growing. All of a sudden, everyone is acting as though the WNBA has a larger audience than the Super Bowl in order to fight for Caitlin Clark's attention. Be prepared for more drama than reality TV in this collapse. Indeed, the fictitious scores are more amusing than the real ones.
Angel Reese is at the bottom of the pick and roll shot attempts list, and it kind of makes sense if you really watch. So on her first game back from injury, somebody interviewed her and asked her, what do you think about Uzan joining the team? Has that changed things? And she said, hopefully I'll get more pick and roll touches. Unfortunately, that just hasn't happened. And it's more so, in my opinion, that she's just not getting that play called for her. It's not something that the team is running. Pick and rolls for Angel is not happening. So there is a list. My guy Trendy put it out. I know a lot of people, Trendy is controversial, but Trendy does, you look at his stats, when he posts stats, they'll be right. And so he put out a list of the top pick and roll shot attempts for front court players, and Angel wasn't even anywhere.
The crowd was humming. The basketball was in Angel Reese's hands. And then the game was over. What transpired wasn't a pivotal moment, a highlight reel performance, or even a respectable attempt to turn things around. It was a sort of collapse that causes you to question if you were seeing a professional game or a comedy performance and double-check the box score.
Choke the game away at the free throw line, and the fans are blaming Tyler Marsh. We got all the Sky fans crashing out. They crashing out blaming the coach because Angel Reese missed a free throw at the end of a game. Let's take a look at what's going on. We have Chicago Sky fans blaming Tyler Marsh.
Even spectators who purchase courtside seats begin searching for the emergency escape because they are unable to bear to watch the catastrophe play out. This was more than a botched possession or a missed shot. In real time, it was unraveling. The basketball equivalent of losing your keys, leaving the oven on, and discover your dog ate your homework all at once. As Sky fan so-called star transformed the limelight into a blackout, you could almost hear their collective scream.
Angel Reese has made her triumphant return from a back injury. That's right, a back injury. Yeah, absolutely, that she had suffered at some point that we don't exactly know at what point she suffered said back injury. Well, it didn't take long for the Chicago Sky as an organization to get back to what it is they do best, which is the diabolical celebration of Angel Reese's double-doubles in lawsuits.
Then, as was to be expected, the fun started. Because supporters don't just sit there and accept reality when a player loses it like that. Oh no, they begin a thorough inquiry that includes finger-pointing conspiracy theories and more justifications than Angel could possibly have. Naturally, the coach is the first target because, God forbid, a star player performs poorly.
Angel only leading Natasha is wild. So let's look at the list. And I know some people might say, well, Angel was injured for a good portion of the season. So was some people on this list. Who was injured? Fee missed 3 weeks, almost a month time. Miller was gone playing in Eurobasket. Shakira missed a lot of time. Dominique does not play that much. I mean, she's playing more now, but during the beginning of the season, who else is on this list that missed some time? E. Will was on this list. That is shocking. So we get pick and rolls for E. Will, and we get pick and rolls for Camilla, but Angel is, again, second to worst.
No, it couldn't have been her mistakes. It had to be the rotations. It had to be the playbook. It had to be the coach's supposed inability to unleash the legendary, untapped version of Angel Reese. Forget that she had the ball plenty. Forget that she had chances. To Sky fans, this wasn't a rough night. It was an orchestrated hit job by the clipboard crew. Twitter and TikTok lit up with conspiracies so outlandish you think we were dealing with a classified scandal, not a regular season WNBA game. The narrative? The coach failed her. He didn't put her in her sweet spots, didn't run the scheme around her talents, didn't dial up perfect plays like he had the Konami code in his back pocket. Some fans even made it sound like the coach sabotaged her on purpose, tie her laces together and wishing her good luck before the final play. One bad outing, one shaky finish, and suddenly the blame shifts. The coach is the villain, not Reese missing opportunities. Overnight, she went from franchise cornerstone to helpless victim of coaching malpractice. But if we're being real, this isn't about a single game. It's about the massive Caitlin Clark-sized presence hanging over everything Reese does. While Reese stumbles in crunch time, Clark is out here turning big moments into trending clips. Her plays aren't just scores, they're events. They're filling seats, moving tickets, pushing TV numbers to heights the league hasn't touched in years.
Today I saw a statistic, this would have been prior to this loss, that there were something like 15 and 31 when she gets a double-double. You over 15 games under 500 when she gets a double-double. Y'all out here celebrating this? I'd be embarrassed as a mother bleeper. I'd be embarrassed as hell. And of course, Angel Reese last night, she was deep in her bag. Woo-wee! I mean, brought a backpack with her. Put it down, started reaching in it, and pulling out the whiffs. Let me tell you, yikes.
Reese's big viral highlight wasn't a clutch play. It was crumbling when the lights were brightest. It feels like a split screen. On one side, Caitlin Clark drilling logo threes, smashing ticket records, and redefining what star power in women's hoops looks like. On the other side, Angel Reese squandering key moments while her fan base melts down in real time. One player is stamping her face on the league's future. The other is stuck being the poster child for excuses. And that's where the conversation took a hilarious twist. When reality gets ugly, there's always a convenient escape route. Imaginary ratings. Yep, the moment Reese falters and Clark takes over, suddenly WNBA Twitter transforms into a circus of exaggerated stats. According to these diehards, the league isn't just thriving. It's outdrawing the NFL, outselling Taylor Swift, and apparently rivaling the moon landing. But scratch beneath the surface and you'll notice the record numbers are usually smoke and mirrors, comparing obscure weekday cable games to primetime network broadcasts, or lumping in every autoplay highlight, Instagram scroll, and TikTok clip as viewership. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark doesn't need creative math. Her impact is plain to see. ESPN ratings legitimately spike when she plays. Teams are moving games into bigger arenas to handle the demand. The hype around her isn't fabricated. It's quantifiable, tangible, and undeniable.
All right, man. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Showtime. Y'all already know what time it is. So, man, let's have a conversation, bro. Man, I want to say, what the hell is going on with the Chicago Sky? Something is off to me. I'm watching them from the jump. This team don't seem to be there mentally. Looks like players are mentally checked out. Now, shout out to Angel. I want to say this. Angel, for the most part of this game, she went out there and competed. Seemed like she was the only one that really showed up.
And that's what makes the cooked-up number game even more laughable. It's like flashing a fake marathon medal while the real champion is still lapping the field. But Sky fans don't stop there. When blaming the coach and juicing the ratings falls flat, they dust off the classic. Blame the refs. Suddenly, every whistle is rigged, every no call is sabotage. To hear them tell it, the league itself is orchestrating a grand plot to tear Angel Reese down just so Caitlin Clark can rise. Because nothing says rational basketball talk like inventing a shadowy referee conspiracy to excuse a missed layup. Some supporters even shift the blame to Reese's teammates, claiming they don't feed her enough, don't set her up, don't shield her reputation. The irony? She's hyped as unstoppable, yet treated like she's too delicate to function without perfect conditions. The contradictions could give you whiplash. Dig a little deeper, and the root cause becomes clear. The Caitlin Clark factor. Everything Reese does, or fails to do, gets run to the Clark filter. Every slip-up looks larger. Every win comes with an asterisk. The storylines aren't really about the games anymore. They're about a rivalry. And the contrast couldn't be sharper. One player is consistently backing up the hype with performance. The other is being held up by hashtags, excuses, and fuzzy math.
Chicago Sky just got defeated by a pretty boring game, too, okay? Even though Angel Reese went off, okay, like she usually does. You know, she got her double-double. She got 20 points, 10 rebounds, I believe. You know, with her stats, it is impressive. But again, it's like we are on a decline. This whole team, the entire Chicago Sky as an organization, as a franchise, is on a great decline, okay? And it's controversy. Of course, there's always some controversy surrounding this damn team. And I may make some controversial takes on this, but I believe like a lot of people would like, you know, actually agree with what I got to say about Angel Reese being a point guard, because I'm tired of it.
Here's the bottom line. Angel Reese is skilled. She's got the size, the motor, and the personality to be a star. But when it comes to delivering under pressure, the consistency isn't there yet. And no amount of scapegoating or inflated stats can cover that up. In crunch time, you either rise or you fold. And in this case, she folded. What makes it almost comical is that the nonstop excuse-making doesn't protect her. It hurts her. Instead of simply owning a rough outing, her fans bend over backwards, inventing reasons it wasn't her fault. It's like watching someone trip on the curb and then blame the pavement, the weather, the shoes, or even Mercury in retrograde. Anything but their own stumble. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark isn't just playing. She's taking over. The scoreboard doesn't recognize fan fiction. The league doesn't hand out rings for Twitter debates. And TV ratings don't jump just because a fan base wills it so. At the end of the day, the only currency that matters is performance. Until Angel Reese proves she can deliver when the game hangs in the balance, she'll be remembered less for her talent and more for the excuses trailing behind her.
It's so crazy to me because I don't know if I ever seen this before. It just seemed like, even though Tanner Morris the coach, it's like they just out there playing. And it don't even matter what I can tell they probably don't even listen to him. They don't care what he said. They don't. They just go on with the flow. That's what it seems like. Like players just not even locked in on a game plan or a specific role in anything. Just players just playing. How many times I'm gonna see Angel Camilla beats everybody down the floor and they don't get the ball up?
The funniest part of this whole cycle is how predictable it's gotten. You could practically time it with a stopwatch. Angel Reese has an off night, and right on cue, the excuse machine fires up. The coach failed her. The teammates didn't step up. The refs had it out for her. The announcers were biased. The stars weren't aligned. Mercury must have been in retrograde. If there's a scapegoat available that isn't Angel Reese herself, Sky fans will grab it and run. Meanwhile, while they're busy writing courtroom-style defenses on Twitter, Caitlin Clark is just out there doing what she always does, delivering results. But let's pause on the blame the coach angle, because that one is comedy gold. The way some fans tell it, Reese is nothing more than a puppet, powerless against a bad playbook. As if she isn't a pro with the ball in her hands, and every chance to decide the game herself. On Sky Twitter, the logic is simple. When Reese succeeds, she's a superstar. When she fails, she's just a poor victim of circumstance. It's like eating a burnt cake and then pointing fingers at everyone else for baking it.
So a lot of people are starting to notice, and honestly, I didn't until I got sent basically not a thread, but like a couple of videos of this happening, and I genuinely think that this could be, this could be not her taking things into her own hands, but this very much could be people in her ear being like, you got to get back to the way she used to be, because Caitlin Clark.
And this goes way beyond just dumping on the coach. It's about reshaping the entire story of the game. Fans dissect every substitution, every timeout, every tiny decision. hunting for a way to clear Angel Reese of responsibility. Did the coach keep her in too long? That's the issue. Gave her a rest? That's the issue, too. No matter the scenario, the blame magically lands on the sideline. It's the sports equivalent of heads I win, tails you lose. And when pinning it on the coach is enough, the next scapegoat becomes the system itself. Suddenly, the Sky's roster is the problem. The lineup construction is the problem. Everything except what Reese didn't get done on the floor. Now stack that up against Caitlin Clark. She didn't inherit some stacked super team either. She walked into a franchise that needed rescuing, and she's carried the load from the start. She's drilling shots from another zip code, putting games on her back, and even making role players more recognizable just by playing alongside them. And the key difference? Clark's fans aren't stuck whining about rosters or systems. They're too busy celebrating real wins.
I'm going to give her some credit first. I'm going to give her some credit. Y'all be getting sensitive. Y'all be getting super sensitive. Angel Reese, you did your thing versus the New York Liberty. Y'all got a win, but we have to keep it real. For a second straight season, Angel Reese has led the Chicago Sky to elimination with a bunch of basketball games left. Season was over before it got started.
What's ironic in all this is that Angel Reese doesn't actually need a mountain of excuses. She's a legit player. She's not a bust, not a fraud, not some end-of-the-bench placeholder trying to fake stardom. She's talented. But the non-stop spin campaign from her fan base ends up making her look weaker, not stronger. Instead of simply admitting she had an off night, they wrap her in bubble wrap like she's too fragile to handle a little criticism. Which brings us to the comedy gold mine, the historic viewership saga. If you only followed Twitter, you'd swear every Sky game with Reese is smashing Nielsen records into pieces. Then you check the reality. Half the arena seats were freebies, or the attendance figures are based on tickets distributed, not actual people in the stands. But hey, if you squint, a row of empty chairs can look a lot like a row of superfans waving foam fingers, right? And then comes the ratings narrative. Sky supporters shout about Reese breaking records, but the fine print always exposes a trick. It's usually something like the most watched game in that tiny cable slot on a random Tuesday night. Basically, congratulations, you outdrew a rerun of a cooking show.
This is for my W people, the WNBA, the people who watch WNBA. I'm sitting here watching the Fever Chicago game, and I'm thinking to myself, y'all fired Teaspoon for this? Y'all thought y'all was going to do better with him? Y'all should have just kept Spoon. At least we would have seen some growth. And no disrespect, but Nurse gotta go. I'm just saying, she gotta go. I digress. I'm wishing Angel well. I want her to get better so she can come back and be that Chicago Barbie. Anywho, if you are interested in the W, let me know your thoughts in the comments because I would love to hear your thoughts. I've been watching. I've been trying to support. I am a Chicago fan because of Angel and Camilla. That's why I follow them. Those are my girls. I followed them since they came out of college.
Or maybe those record numbers only look impressive because they're being compared to games from 10 years ago, back when coverage was practically non-existent. You know it's weak when the stat you're bragging about feels more like a random trivia fact than a legitimate headline. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark doesn't need smoke and mirrors. Her numbers speak for themselves. ESPN isn't shifting games to bigger arenas for fun. They're doing it because demand for Clark is off the charts. Ticket resale prices for her matchups are soaring. Broadcasts with her on the court are pulling in audiences the rest of the league can't touch. And the best part? It's all measurable, verifiable, undeniable. No spin required. But instead of acknowledging that reality, Reese's defenders retreat into an alternate universe where stats magically become whatever they want them to be. And when those shaky claims inevitably collapse under scrutiny, the fallback is always the same. Bias. Suddenly the referees are biased. The commentators are biased. The media is biased. Basically, the entire basketball world is in on a plot to sabotage Angel Reese, which is hilarious because let's be honest, no ref made her choke late in the game. No broadcaster told her to brick shots or mishandle the ball. Those mistakes were hers and hers alone.
Like, if you look at Caitlin Clark's legs, like they are as slim as they have been since her rookie year. Which, unpopular opinion, I'm happy about. Because, rookie Caitlin Clark was just going meep meep and just running by people. But like, she's there doing workouts with the team. She's doing shooting workouts. Look, she's coming back, but she does not look nearly as bulky. And I think a lot of people have been pointing out a lot of things where they're like side by side when she's been like sitting down. It's really noticeable with her arms. It seems like she's lost quite a decent chunk of the bulk that she put on in the off season.
The blame will just keep spinning. One day it's the coach. The next it's the refs. Then it's Caitlin Clark, hogging the spotlight. There's always a new scapegoat, and it never stops. The funny thing is, all this deflection doesn't shield Angel Reese. It undermines her. If she's really the star her supporters insist she is, she shouldn't need excuses, padded stats, or conspiracy theories to validate her status. Her performance should be enough. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, doesn't need anyone running interference. Her game is speaking loud and clear, and honestly, it's shouting. She's not just matching the hype, she's blowing past it. Every logo 3 she nails, every packed house she draws, every rating spike tied to her name. It's all proof, solid and undeniable. And that's the real hurdle for Reese. It's like lining up for a race with weights strapped to your ankles, while the other runner has rockets strapped to their shoes. One looks like the future of the sport. The other looks like they're just trying to stay upright. At the end of the day, the scoreboard doesn't fudge, the stats don't bend, and the highlights don't lie. The truth is simple. Caitlin Clark is thriving. Angel Reese is scrambling to keep up.